Now let's talk about managers inside of VoIP Detective. A manager is much like an end user in that they can log into VoIP Detective and pull both inbound and outbound call reports on their own extension. However, unlike end users, an administrator can assign multiple extensions to a manager. So a manager is designed to have a team of people that they can pull reports on. So some examples would be a sales manager could be assigned every extension in the sales team, and they could pull daily, weekly, monthly sales reports to see what outbound calls have been made by their team. Another example would be a call center manager could have all the extensions in the call center assigned to them, and they could see how many calls were answered by the call center employees. So let's take a look at the manager experience inside of VoIP Detective. From the main page, I'm going to click on Login. I'm going to enter my manager username and password and hit Login. Now let's track calls. So you can see the same reports we'd seen previously, the all calls report, the inbound calls report, and the outbound calls report. You also see a new report called Team Search. So let's look at our old call reports first. So the all calls report, we now have a drop down for extension where we could choose anyone on our team. So we could simply choose a person, choose a date, and hit search. And we see their reports. Same goes for inbound and outbound. And now let's take a look at the team search. It's pretty straightforward. We've got a couple of checkboxes that could add or subtract information, but let's look at the last 90 days for my team. And here we see the team member extension. We see inbound calls, inbound talk time, outbound calls, outbound talk time, and total calls. We've got a couple of pie charts at the bottom that offer up the top 8 by number of calls and the top 8 by talk time. As we scroll down, we could adjust the time period for this graph as well. So if we wanted to see the details for one of these reports, such as we wanted to see the details for this, if I click the magnifying glass, it's going to take me to the all calls report for that particular team member. So let's go back to our report. We'll look at for this month. And you may have noticed at the bottom of the page, you can export these calls as CSV, PDF, or Excel as well. So let's take a look at the PDF. Well, let's take a look at the Excel of this. The Excel report that's produced is the call details for my team. It's broken into outbound and inbound calls, calling number, the called number, the time of day, and the duration for each member of my team. And there's quite a few calls on this report. But that's it. And this can be scheduled to be emailed out on a daily, monthly, or weekly or monthly basis. So those are the 4 reports available to managers. You can control via the Your Accounts page when scheduled reports are sent out. You can have them daily, weekly, and monthly. And what that will do is send the report you just looked at will be emailed out. That wraps it up for managers.